Humans were naturally discontent with life and everything they had on their Earth. But as we look towards the sky with thoughts of discovering and expanding our lives and environments, we occasionally find barriers that remind us that the world beyond us is hostile and destructive. Within the past centuries, various humans have made successful steps toward the discovery of a livable planet that might host humans. But it's only natural that planets like this end up being terrible, painful, and stressful for human livelihood. However, recently, Elon Musk revealed an insane discovery on Mars that reminds us of the eminent barrier. Why Mars? Humans have always visualized the possibility of exploring and making Mars habitable for themselves. Elon Musk and SpaceX have a plan too, and with NASA being on the front line with their plans to land astronauts on Mars by 2023, certainly that dream could become a reality. We're sure you'll all agree that one of the most painful and quite impossible tasks is transporting millions of people over the 34 million miles of space between Earth and Mars. However, humans will surely face overwhelming challenges when they arrive on Mars. Mars happens to be a frozen and hostile planet. For humans to survive on Mars, they require a sustainable amount of water, and Mars doesn't have any. There were claims of evidence of water on Mars when the Mariner 9 and Viking space probes first brought images of Mars back to Earth. Researchers at Italy's National Institute for Astrophysics have provided some of the most recent clues. According to their research, they released Research in Science in 2018, claiming to have found a 12-mile-long lake situated approximately a mile beneath Mars' south pole. The United States Geological Survey stated in that same year that they had discovered 8 places on Mars where erosion had opened up important cross-sections of ice deposits between 1 and 100 meters under the planet's surface. Mars criteria to consider. According to the American Geophysical Union, scientists reviewing data from NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter showcase layers of ice and sand buried a mile underneath Mars' North Pole a year later. Nevertheless, the technology to accumulate water from Martian soil does not yet exist. NASA intends to close the gap through the Mars Ice Challenge, a yearly competition for university engineering students. NASA also established partnerships to advance mining technology for utilization in space, including one with the Australian Space Agency. In July 2019, NASA, the University of Central Florida, and Honeybee Robotics unveiled the World Is Not Enough, a prototype spacecraft the size of a microwave oven, WINE. This microwave is designed and developed to mine an asteroid's soil. It extracts water from it and makes use of water to make steam, which it utilizes to push itself to the next mining target. Water harvesting technologies could be designed for Mars exploration. Mars isn't atmospheric. When considering the idea of habiting a planet, an atmosphere is one of the major features that a planet must possess in order to be habitable for humans. Unfortunately, only a sphere of one clings to Mars, and it's characterized majorly by the wrong gases. Based on NASA's analysis, the atmosphere on Mars is characterized by the fact that it is significantly made up of carbon dioxide, 95.3% compared to less than 1% on Earth. It only has 0.13% of the oxygen that humans need, 0.13 versus 2.1% on Earth. It also has a low nitrogen content, 2.7% versus 78% on Earth, which plants require. A plentiful air supply, life on Mars would be impossible. Further investigation reveals that Mars' atmospheric pressure is extremely low, measuring only 6.1 millibars in comparison to Earth's 1013.25 millibars. The significance of pressure on life on Earth cannot be exaggerated. Tiny pockets of air trapped inside a human's body would expand if they didn't have it. Based on the information from the Institute of Physics, human eardrums would blow off and the body's water would boil. To stay alive in space, astronauts wear pressurized suits, and they would need to do the same on Mars, or live in pressurized habitats. The heat from the sun runs away freely into space due to the thin atmosphere. As a result, according to NASA, Mars is intensely frigid, with a temperature of no more than 285 degrees Fahrenheit. On Mars, some have counseled creating an atmosphere that would create significant gases while also warming the planet. What possible solution does man have? One possible solution to make a planet habitable is called terraforming. Terraforming means causing greenhouse gases already available on a particular planet, such as carbon dioxide and water vapor, to rise into the atmosphere. However, based on a 2018 study published in Nature Astronomy, the planets lack enough of these features to support human habitation on Mars, although for the most part, humans will have to bring all their life preservation systems with them. Harmful issues. Finally, we face the most difficult issue to give a solution to, which is radiation. The universe itself is filled with dangerous radiation. Our sun and other stars are fusion reactors that produce a massive amount of electromagnetic energy, such as ultraviolet light and X-rays. The sun, as well as various intense and highly energetic objects, such as quasars or galaxy centers, emits intense energy protons, atomic nuclei, and other particles that can cause radiation sickness, cause dangerous harm to our central nervous system, increase a person's lifetime cancer risk, and lastly cause the degenerative disorder. Most of the electrically charged atomic pieces are deflected back into space by our planet's powerful magnetic fields, which act as an unseen barrier against such radiation. However, the dense atmosphere of our planet absorbs any stray particles. Outside of this protection atmosphere, the astronauts are at risk. According to the European Space Agency, astronauts on a spacecraft to Mars could be exposed to radiation doses as much as 700 times higher than on Earth, despite the fact that Earth's agencies are hard at work developing technologies to reduce radiation to a bare minimum. The agencies are tagging particle accelerator facilities to arouse deadly levels of cosmic radiation in space to develop and test shielding to protect against it. They are also working towards equipping radiation sensors on NASA's Homecoming Orion test launch in order to keep a record of the exposure during the lunar mission. Radiation on Mars. Following astronomy, astronauts on board the International Space Station previously concluded an experiment that demonstrated that they could make a mixture of cement and microgravity. The table of contents here is that humanity may one day be able to use Martian soil to build a livable epitome out of concrete, a hard and protective material that is already used to cover people at nuclear power plants on Earth. Mars missions will serve as a big confrontation for scientists in the near future. These issues might be a major problem that might put the lives of humans at risk. Access to water, confronting issues of planets without oxygen, and coping with deadly radiation levels are amongst the most difficult problems to solve. When humanity proceeds with their lifelong journey to the moon, while keeping a close eye on Mars, they'll need to learn how to adapt to situations, as they have always done, and find the answers to fresh issues that are coming in the future. It is only natural to note, while proceeding towards the future, that there is no end to the learning or exploring of solutions to Mars' capabilities of hosting life. SpaceX or NASA's human adventure or exploration of Mars' surface will significantly involve the studying of these borates. Even if they don't solve most of the problems faced in 2022, they offer some kind of intensely impactful new information in the near future. Borates are one possible bridge from simple organic molecules to RNA. You have no life. According to scientists, the presence of boron tells us that, if organics were present on Mars, these chemical reactions could have occurred. Irrespective, SpaceX needs to make sure that the Starship is ready to travel to Mars. If all goes according to plan, the Super Heavy booster will enable the SpaceX Starship to achieve its aim. It possesses a propellant capability of 3,400 tons, with the ability to increase to 3,800 tons in the future. The booster possesses 33 engines, which have been shaken between 29 and 37 during development. It has a thrust of roughly 7,600 tons, which is supposed to increase over time. Depending on the orbit, the ship will send 100 to 150 tons into space at a time. Musk believes that the ship can carry about 200 tons of payload for its orbital refilling, in which each second Starship stays in space and refills the spacecraft to complete its journey to Mars. With all this, Musk seems to be worried about the possibility of colonizing Mars confidently. What do you think about the issues faced by scientists in providing solutions for Mars habitation? What do you think about the radiation problem faced by astronauts on Mars? Drop your thoughts about all these in the comment section below.